People have been trying in this country to solve our energy problems for a long time. And the people in this room across industry and education, across elected leadership, and all the other community organizations, you are going to figure it out. We are going to solve our energy issues in our country. If we're going to do our work and do it well, we have to have a climate bill that doesn't just deal with the issues of pollution, but it deals with the issues of people. And there's the new definition of green. It's the kind of community and the kind of country that we deserve. So that the work that you're doing over the next 2 days in talking to your colleagues, in thinking through some of the details behind how to make that happen, and really figuring out those best practices and how they apply, that is the most important, significant, and amazing work. And I want to just encourage you to be strong and clear with the base value system in implementing those things.
We bring industry, labor, education, a workforce, government entities together as a group to actually socialize with each other and find out what each other's needs are. But specifically, we need to focus this on what industry's needs are and the needs of our economy.
One thing that we found at Avista is really the key to success is development of long-term relationships and thinking about key stakeholders and trying to find common interest and common ground. And if I think about every success our company has had, it's built on those fundamental principles of trying to bring together very diverse people and finding a middle road that can make something work.
Every year focuses on best practices. Those are best practices training programs. We feature best practices workforce programs, best practices economic development models, any model out there that's really changing the focus of our economy as a whole.
The value, in my estimation, since I have to run training programs and train incumbent and new workers, is the value of the model practices of model skill panels, so that you have scientific research into what the best practices of knowledge, skills, and abilities are, what the relevant industry requirements are, sharing that with folks, getting input, and keeping those standards relevant so we can keep curriculum, training programs, and new technology in the forefront, and have everybody discussing it, sharing not only what works, but more importantly, what doesn't work and how can we fix those things.
Best practices is a very good management concept, and before you want the legislature to pass a law or a regulator like me to kind of tell a utility what to do, I think it's incumbent upon all the people who are actually doing the work to try to come up with best practices, because once you get a regulator or a legislative body involved, then you're talking about statutory responsibilities, complying with codes. So when I go to groups like this, I always encourage them to engage in best practices.
We can all be in our separate little silos making efforts to figure all this out. And to me, that is very wasteful of our resources. And what the value of best practices is, it's actually a green or efficient use of resources where people can come together and use what's already been done rather than doing it again, which is a waste of resources.
This summit is so valuable in connecting all of the threads together that are coming out of nonprofit organizations, workforce development, community colleges, apprenticeship programs, industry, labor organizations. Everybody has their eye on the prize, which is a sustainable future.
Really deep thinkers in these fields come together in the same place. You can sponge up a lot of information from the people that attend the summit. There's a lot of expertise here and a lot of people that have been in these industries for many years.
I get professionally educated myself, so I know what to bring into my industry. But aside from that, I think that we get to connect and network with people so that I understand what's happening at the next level of education. I know what's happening in the industry, and vice versa. They get to learn from us as to the situations that we're experiencing.
Opportunities to network, to learn from each other, create long-term partnerships that can help people move forward in a collaborative way.
Events like this weave together a tapestry of information, connectivity, and coordinated unity towards making Washington State's sustainability focus really work in construction, in energy. There are best practices, and the more that each of us knows about them, the better off we all are.
Some of these issues are so complex and so widespread that we're not going to be able to solve what we need to solve unless we all work together and piggyback off of what's already been done, and also let go of turf or artificial barriers that keep us from working together on these things.
As you get deeper into this energy industry, you figure out it's a relatively small number of really important players, and they're your family, and you can get a lot done if you connect with them. So it's a great opportunity to hear about new innovations, but it's also a great way to connect with people that otherwise it's hard to do.
Collaborations are important to move any new initiative forward. Collaboratively as a state, as a region, and as a nation is what it's going to take to really create a new economy, to create a new workforce, to just move our nation forward into the world of sustainability.